Hey, greetings everyone. GleeCon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On our last episode, oh man, I don't even know. I know we saw the Battle of Grimmatal, the freeing of the dragons, and then we talked about their kind of their desire to come back in and do their duty as empowered them by the Titans. But they also need some time to lick their wounds. And we talked about the various different aspects and how they're doing, how each one is dealing with their own conflicts. So stay a while and listen to this one. It's called Call of the Old Gods, as we continue our period of the 10th year after the Dark Portal. We're still in between the Second and Third Wars. During the Second War, betrayal had split the Horde in two. The Orc warlock Gul'dan had broken away from the faction and sought out forbidden power in a place called the Tomb of Sargeras. He had taken two clans with him, the Storm Reavers and the Twilight's Hammer, the latter led by the two-headed ogre mage Chok'Gall. Gul'dan's treachery severely weakened the Horde, leading to its eventual defeat. In the end, the Legion would punish him for his greed. When Gul'dan ventured into the Tomb of Sargeras, demons were waiting. They ripped apart the warlock and many of his followers and left their bones to rot in the massive tower. Chok'Gall and some of the Twilight's Hammer clan narrowly survived and fled from the tomb. They had no reason to continue their allegiance to the Horde or the Legion. In truth, they answered to different masters. They answered to the old gods. So I think this is the first official confirmation that, even though you know if you've played any World of Warcraft that Chok'Gall must have survived, this is our first confirmation of that. The Twilight's Hammer were unlike the Horde's other clans. They wielded shadow magic rather than fel, and they worshipped the powers of the void. The Twilight's Hammer were fanatics who believed in the Hour of Twilight, a dark prophecy that foretold the end of all things. Chok'Gall and his followers saw themselves as the agents of this apocalypse. The only questions were where and how it would happen. On Azeroth, they found answers. Chok'Gall and his followers heard the whispers of the old gods. These entities shared visions of the past with the Twilight's Hammer. They revealed how the world had once been. They revealed the Black Empire and its terrible glory. Chok'Gall and the Twilight's Hammer could help restore the old gods. They could break their shackles and build the Black Empire again. Its rise would herald the Hour of Twilight. Chok'Gall had once believed that the Horde was the key to bringing about the apocalypse. After Gul'dan's death in the Tomb of Sargeras, he realized that was not the case. The two-headed ogre abandoned the Horde and led his followers on a pilgrimage to Kalimdor. He sensed, I think actually we did talk about him getting on a boat and going over to Kalimdor. I do actually think that was mentioned back then. He sensed the presence of an old god somewhere on the distant continent, and he was eager to meet the entity and bask in its terrible power. It was a slow, dangerous journey from the Tomb of Sargeras to Kalimdor. The Twilight's Hammer gradually worked their way toward the southern edge of the continent, where dark whispers emanated from beneath the surface. I'm guessing that would be Uldum and Ahn'Qiraj. Chok'Gall did not know the land, and many threats lurked in Kalimdor. He meditated for months, submerging both of his minds in the chaotic will of the old gods. Though they were locked in enchanted prisons, millennia of inattention had allowed them to extend their influence across the world in small ways. The old gods urged Chok'Gall onward, guiding him through the strange land and helping him avoid its dangers. Chok'Gall and his servants established a base in a cave system beneath the deserts of Tanaris. To the east lay Ahn'Qiraj, the prison that housed the old god Cthulhu. Chok'Gall sensed that he was close to his master. Unfortunately for Chok'Gall, he would not reach this entity anytime soon. Before long, important members of the Twilight's Hammer began to disappear, and others were found dead. At first, Chok'Gall had suspected treason from within, and then he finally discovered the truth. He caught a glimpse of someone cutting the throat of one of his most trusted lieutenants. It was the half-orc assassin named Garona. Long ago, Gul'dan, Chok'Gall, and their closest followers had ensorcelled Garona and used her as their personal weapon. During the Second War, she had escaped and broken free from their control. Garona harbored unending hatred for her former masters, and she had tracked Chok'Gall across an ocean to seek her vengeance. The Twilight's Hammer bolstered their defenses and laid traps, but Garona had been studying the region for months. The cave complex was not their home. It was her hunting ground. Night after night, new victims were found. Chok'Gall was furious, but he had no choice. His clan fled the area and searched for a new place to continue their dark work. So that's actually pretty cool. It shows the pursuit and almost the heroic nature of Garona as an assassin and as a true rogue fan at heart. That's my favorite class. I just like the fact that she single-handedly basically delayed the rebirth of the old gods by stopping the Twilight's Hammer clan. Again, single-handedly. Just dope. Love it. It's almost got this Dritz Duerden kind of single-handedly going around and fighting minions under... I don't know. I like it. It's a cool vibe. All right, everybody. This episode is in the pipe, 5x5. I thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you next time on Lore of Warcraft.